In this screencast, I'm going to calculate the liquid nitrogen yield in Linde liquefaction. And by that, we mean we have a process where we're feeding nitrogen gas at 300 Kelvin, 1 bar into a Linde cycle. And then what we're calculating is the fraction of the flow that enters the Joule-Thomson expansion at high pressure and low temperature that is converted to liquid. The values in this table are from a Peng-Robinson equation state spreadsheet, and we'll use these values in the calculations. So if we look at the cycle, first thing we're going to do to get these numbers, so we're assuming the heat exchanger is such that we can get the temperature here, T4, 165 Kelvin. And so then we can do an energy balance around the flash drum, because H4 then from the spreadsheet is 213 kilojoules per kilogram. Of course, that is also H5 because we don't have any enthalpy change through the Joule-Thomson expansion. And so we do an energy balance just around the flash drum. We're coming in, and let's do it for a kilogram of flow. So 1 kilogram of flow, H5, that's what's entering, and then we'll use Y as the fraction of that kilogram that's converted to liquid, enthalpy H6, and then 1 minus Y, enthalpy H7. That would be energy balance around the flash drum. Well, these values are in the table that I showed. So H5, we said 213 kilojoules per kilogram. H6 for liquid, 28.4. And then the vapor, that's at 77 Kelvin, has enthalpy of 227. These are all kilojoules per kilogram. Well, I can solve this equation for Y, and Y 0.0705. So this says 7% of what's fed into Joule-Thomson ends up as liquid. The rest, the 93%, is recirculated and has to be recompressed, go through the heat exchanger again, etc. So we can now do a balance on the heat exchanger. And so if you look at general terms, we have some mass flow rate 3 times the enthalpy out minus the enthalpy in for the high pressure plus mass flow rate 8, which is smaller because we remove some liquid, and then out minus in for the low pressure, and that is 0 since the heat exchanger is adiabatic. So I can substitute in the values. I have Y, so let's look at it this way. M3 dot, well, M8 is going to be M3 dot times 1 minus Y, because we remove Y is the fraction that we removed here. So let me stop and put in the enthalpy values. Okay, well, of course, M3 is canceling. So I simplified somewhat. So I can solve for H8. H8, 458 kilojoules per kilogram. And that corresponds to a temperature of 294 Kelvin. So here we're at 294 Kelvin after going through the heat exchanger. So now we've shown that 7% of what we feed to Joule-Thomson is converted to liquid. Whatever mass flow rate we have at 6 must be the mass flow rate coming into the process, since we're at steady state. Now we can use this information to also then do calculations for the compressor, which we'll do in another screencast.